Hey, Whippersnappers! It's Tortoise the Grey. Welcome you back to another exciting episode of Pixelmon on the DeciMon server. Today, we are going to be doing a handful of things. Oh, I still got this mod on. Okay, so one thing. Remember when I was doing a lot of catching? I think it was probably around when I was catching, looking for Rhyhorn and Golettes out in the mesa, and I mentioned in one of my videos, wouldn't it be great if there was a mod where you could sit and tell the natures and all these other information about a Pokemon before you caught them? Well, somebody, and for the life of me, I forget who it was now. It might have been Kays? It was either Kays or Chuck. It was, the three of us were talking, and I can't remember who it was who actually had the mod or whatever. I think it might have been Kays. But he found this mod, and it's a mod that, like, normally, like, it would show you all the items over here and stuff, and I turned a lot of it off, but, like, you look at something that tells you information. And I meant to turn it off before I recorded, but if you come here, and so, like, I'm looking at this Magmar, if I shift down, Nature Calm, Ability Flame Body, Size Ordinary, Happiness, so it tells you all that information. So now that I'm done catching everybody, I have a mod that will tell me its nature and everything before we take it on. But yeah, so at this point, I'm just kind of working with Thwomp Jr. He's the last one who's still being leveled for the gym. And then we're going to get going on training my offensive guys. And I don't know if I'm going to really worry about them. I probably will EV train them just because it wasn't really too bad, at least for most of them. A lot of my guys are going to be attackers, so that's easy, as well as speed and things like that. So some of them are kind of easy, so I'll probably do that. I have expanded out. I mentioned last episode I was talking to Skull, and I had all these little entryways. I'm like, maybe I'll make rooms off of these. And then we realized I didn't have a trading machine down here. And so I was like, you know what, I'll get the trading machine up there. I had found a couple others from like abandoned, or just like Pokemon centers that I'd found way out or whatever. So I had another one from that. So I put them in here, made a little room and everything like that. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of these rooms. Probably I'll come up with something. But for now, got a trading machine there. I think that works out pretty well. But the gym team is, other than that, pretty well done. I've got a couple of guys like Fidget from last time. I still need to get another couple moves on him and things like that to get his moveset exactly where I want it with his ability and things like that. But other than that, everybody else is completely EV trained and leveled. Thwomp Jr. is completely EV trained. We're just leveling him at this point. And we've got a couple of other guys here. I think actually I did end up using the new mod to catch this Mareep. So I found a modest Mareep without having to catch a ton of Mareeps, so that was nice. And so I think this is the team we're going to be going with. Let me know, guys. You guys haven't given me much feedback in the comments about this, but we got Torterra and Gyarados and Camerupt. We're going to be using the shiny Camerupt, I think. Crobat, Umbreon, and Ampharos is going to be our team for offensive. And we may have the occasional person that we switch in and out. Like, I really enjoyed my Machamp when I was doing Pixelmon Adventures on Little Lizard server, so that might be something that we do. But today, what I want to do is we've got to do a little more grinding with Thwomp because I want to get up to 60 levels, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of enchanting because this is going to be some more Minecrafty stuff, I guess, but what we're doing is on this server, it's a multiplayer server, so there's always people on. I don't think there's anybody on at the moment, but usually there's people on, and oftentimes people have taken to the habit of go ahead and just, like, killing each other, and so they're constantly like, oh, J Seed was slain by Rain, or, you know, Meg was slain by Max, or whatever, and so I don't really have any weapons. Like, it's not something that I really worried about up to this point because it's just there's no mobs or anything like that. Ooh, some more choice specs, nice. There's no mobs, and so there's really nothing to really need weapons for. So I mean, I've got my pickaxe and I've got tools, but I don't really have any weapons. But people have definitely been in a killing mood as of late, and I just don't really have a way to defend myself. So what I would like to do is today we are going to enchant a sword and a bow. Let's see, Growlithe. And so we gain like Minecraft experience through battling Pixelmon and things like that. So We've just got to do a little more grinding with Thwomp. That works out pretty well because we need to do that anyway. And as we're doing that grinding, see, we almost went up a half level with a couple of battles we've done here, so that works out very nicely. And at the same time, we're leveling up Thwomp. He's almost 10 levels away. There we go. We are 10 levels away. Thwomp is level 60. Awesome. So this will work out nicely. But yeah. So one thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is for my regular viewers as much as it's for any Deci monsters who might be watching. I had kind of an idea, and I don't think it's a... Well, I know it's not a fully... I know it's not a wholly unique idea anymore because I did a Google search on it, and it actually turns out that a couple of guys on the server had done something similar. But I was watching... I talked about this in the my Hexathlon series, but I don't think I've got lots of overlap between those two series. So if you guys are watching and you did watch the Hexathlon this week, you've probably heard a little bit of this, but again, I don't know if there's much overlap there, so you'll just have to excuse me. But I was watching the Minecraft guys, which if you guys are familiar with Minecraft at all, you know who the Minecraft guys are. They're a more mature Minecrafting community, and I don't mean mature as in like vulgar. I just mean you know, they're older guys. They're usually in their 30s, give or take. I mean, not all of them necessarily. I mean, guys like Pyro and things like that are not. But for the large part, they're more older guys, kind of like me. And so I enjoy watching their stuff. And they were recently doing a new season of UHC, which is their ultra hardcore. It's kind of like a multiplayer free for all sort of deal, kind of like Hunger Games or something like that. If you're familiar with that, I haven't really watched any of that, but. I've played the survival games in Minecraft, and so it's kind of similar to that, except for there's other rules on how health regens and things like that. But more, for the extent of the purposes of this conversation, it's a multiplayer, free-for-all PvP sort of deal. And so I was thinking, you know, we could do something like that for Pixelmon on this server. Not on this server, but as a server, the DeciMon community. I feel like we should come up with a Pixelmon UHC sort of thing. I know a couple of our guys, Gaming Tater Tot and Mr. Inks, have done something like that, because when I googled Pixelmon UHC, one of their videos popped up. So I know that some of the guys here have done it, and I don't know that I really loved the rule set that they used for that. I think we could adapt it to work a little better, but because a lot of theirs was like not manual, but it was kind of like, you know, if somebody calls you out in chat, you have to battle them sort of deal. But I think there's config options to kind of, you know... What am I coming down here to heal for? There's config options, I think, where you can set it to, like... Because it used to be in this mod, if you threw a Pokemon at somebody, it would automatically engage them in battle. Now you get the accept screen and stuff, but I've got to imagine there's config options there that you can turn that off. Or we could go to an earlier form of Pixelmon or something like that and do something. But I think it would be cool if we could set up like a DeciMon, Pixelmon UHC, where we all start on like a new map, and this would be completely separate from this server. So I'm not suggesting we wipe this server or anything, but just as kind of like an event, just like a normal UHC would be. You guys get together in a couple hours and you come to... I don't need that. And you start on a new server with a starter, and I think there used to be also in this mod when like a certain game mode, if you were battling and your whole team fainted, it would be like in the Pokemon games where it would say, you know, Tortimer blacked out, his Pokemon was not a usable Pokemon, he blacked out or whatever, and you would like die. It would give you like the Minecraft death screen. And I think that that's something that we could do, like have the UHC, but have it be based off of like your Pokemon's health. So like you'd have to be careful, you know, you could, just like in a regular UHC, you could die to environmental factors like creepers, but instead you'd be dying to like wild Pokemon. So like I would, you know, I could just as easily get, you know, lose the game by fighting this Trapinch as I could by fighting, you know, Skull or something like that. And, you know, you'd have to gather resources, you know, instead of gathering resources for armor and stuff, you're gathering resources to make, you know, healers or trade machines or whatever, right? And so you're just doing the same sort of things just for different purposes. And 60, there we go, we got level 60. I'm going to run back and drop off a lot of this crap I've got on me from grinding, and then we'll head over to Max's and do some enchanting. But, so I'm thinking, you know, you'd have to do all the same stuff, essentially, just for different purposes. And, so you could heal your Pokemon, but only after you'd built a healer or crafted potions or something like that. Obviously, sleeping wouldn't do anything because you'd be on a server with other people, and you're obviously not going to get to sleep. So you're really going to have to gather those things to get your Pokemon's health back up. And so you've got to be careful. If your Pokemon whole team faints and you get the death screen or whatever, then you're out. Just like in a normal, not Nuzlocke, but UHC, when you're dead, you're dead. And so you got to be careful. You got to catch some Pokemon, gather the resources to make Pokeballs and things like that. So instead of building tools and armor, you're gathering Pokeballs and healers and things like that. And then if you ever are at a point where your team is completely fainted, then you would have to, you would be done, essentially. And I think there would be a way to make it really cool. I'm kind of excited about it, but I don't have any modding expertise at all, or messing with config options. I don't have any of that experience, so I'm gonna have to find somebody who would be interested in helping out with that. So I'm putting it out to you guys here in the video for my viewers. If you guys are interested in that, let me know, and I will make sure that I put some thought and effort into it. And for, if any of you guys DeciMonsters are watching and that's something that you're interested in, let me know that as well, and maybe we can connect with somebody who knows what they're doing and get connect with somebody who knows what they're doing, and we can get some sort of DeciMon, Pixelmon, UHC. I think that would be something cool that people would enjoy watching. I know I would enjoy doing it, because, for me, I'm not a real great PvP person, but I'm pretty good at Pokemon, so I would probably enjoy a Pixelmon UHC more than I would enjoy an actual UHC. Not that I don't enjoy actual UHCs, I'm just not very good at them. So yeah. So let's quickly. We've got some diamonds here. Let's see. I need. Nope. We're doing a sword and a bow, so I need 2 diamonds for that. And then I know I've got string somewhere. I'll grab this wood for the sticks and all that. Oh, come on. I know I have string. I think at one point I'd taken some to spawn. Somebody needed it, but then they ended up having enough, so I didn't end up leaving it there. Oh, come on. I had string. We may have to go kill some Caterpies or something. But I know I had some. I'm just missing it somehow. Let me scan through one more time, and we will see. And I probably am missing it. You guys are yelling at your screens. Tortimer, it's right there. It's right there. You're so dumb. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it ended up in my Pokemon chest. We may have to go kill some Caterpies, which will be fine. No big deal. We've got to grind Thwomp anyway. Okay, so let's get our sticks going. We're probably going to need more sticks than that. No, this will be plenty. Because we just need 1 for the sword and then 3 for the bow. Okay, so there's our diamond sword. Perfect. Time to strike. So we'll enchant this. And let's run up here. Is it nighttime right now? I don't really remember when Caterpies and stuff spawn. So let's head over there right now. Looks like we might be just about at a transition, so that'll work out nicely. Ooh, I gotta get this Drapion. Drapions are some of the highest level guys in my area, and this guy's level 52, so that'll be perfect. I probably should have healed Thwomp. Oh, come on, kill him. There we go. Attaboy Thwomp. Alright, so I've got a little forest area over here. Let's run over here and we'll grab some string, and then we can make our bow. I don't know that I have many materials for arrows and stuff yet, but we can gather that. I think I've got some eggs if we needed to set up a chicken farm. So that'll work out just fine. Or we'll just grind on Pidgeys and stuff. Ooh, Kadabra! I do like to kill Kadabras because they give me Ender Pearls. Oh, he's too fast for Thwomp. That's okay because Caladrius can kill him. I can never pass up Ender Pearls when I get the chance. Oh, come on. Oh, I wonder if they drop the normal stuff if they're a boss. I didn't really think about that. I don't really need a burn heal. But that's okay. Okay, so I think Ladians will drop it. Or Lady Boss. Whichever. think these guys will drop some strings. So let's give that a shot. Not yet. Not yet. I think most of the bugs do drop them though. So let's kill a couple till we find one that does. Other than that, we can... It was nighttime, so I know there was spinneracks, and I'm pretty sure spinneracks, being spiders, will drop string. So let's see if we can't find any of those. While we're doing that, yeah, so just make sure you guys leave your comments on what you think, either from a viewer's perspective, or if you are a DeciMonster and that's something you would be interested in participating in, or not interested in participating in, I guess. Let me know. I envision, you know... Oh, there was a spinnerack back there. I envision, you know, starting with a new starter, you get a chance to build up a little bit of a team, give everybody a couple hours. You know, usually a UHC lasts a couple hours before the final meetup is set up, and then setting up the config so, like, if you run across somebody, you can force them to battle and knock them out, sort of thing. I don't know. I think it would be fun. And so you'd have to be careful on your initial... Why is nobody giving me string? What's going on here? Don't need weeping bells. But yeah, I think it would be cool. It would force you to be careful. Ooh, an Ivysaur. Hey, little buddy. It would force you to be careful. Like, you know, you'd have to start grinding early on Magikarps. You'd have to get some Pokeballs so you could get some second teammates. That way, if one of yours faints, you could, you know, you wouldn't be completely out. You would just have to, you know, try and build a healer or something in order to revive your Pokemon. Things like that. But yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware... and I don't know if and when we'll ever be... I think these guys might drop it too. I don't know if and when this we'll be updating to... Yes, a string. Okay, so these guys do drop them. That's for sure. I don't know if and when we'll be updating to this on the server, but Pixelmon 3.3 is out in beta right now. Snivy. And what that includes is some very cool stuff. It's the breeding update, so it's actually introducing breeding, which is kind of frustrating because I caught all these Pokemon and stuff, went for the good natures and everything, when I could have potentially been breeding Pokemon for that. Oh, good, we got some Interpearls too. Fantastic. But, so the breeding update is out, and it's in beta right now, so I don't know that we're going to be updating to it. We generally stick to, at least for a while now, we've been sticking to the recommended or stable updates. So I don't know if and when we'll be updating to the breeding one. It'll probably be whenever it becomes stable, and it's probably no longer in beta. But it'll be something that'll be very cool. It allows you to breed Pokemon, so that'll be a fun little change here. And we may be able to... There is a config option to allow you to breed legendaries, which is kind of counterintuitive to the games, but if that config option ends up being on this server, you could potentially get another Groudon that way, which would be exciting. I think I have a Ditto somewhere, so we could potentially do that, which would be very cool. And so that's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen an update video on that, there we go, Swaddle. Be sure to check that out. It looks like it'll be cool. It looks like they've added a couple of updated a couple of models in that. I think Pidgeot and Pidgeotto and Pidgey are getting slight updates. I think Pidgey and Pidgeot are mostly like animation type updates. Maybe with some smoothing. They've been doing those smoother models, which I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of. There we go. We got the string I need. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of all the smoothing models, but I don't know. So I think those are getting updated. Pidgeotto desperately needs a model update, so that'll be cool. Pidgeotto is one of my favorite guys, so it'll be nice to see him finally get a facelift. And what else? They're adding Corphish and Crawdont. They're water Pokemon from Gen 3, I believe, maybe? Is that right? Yeah, they're from Gen 3. And so those guys are really cool. I love those guys. So that might be something that I consider too at some point, putting them on my team. I know I've got the shiny Magikarp, but I don't know. I probably will use this guy, but maybe get a Crawdont in the rotation, something like that. Maybe if somebody puts up a Psychic-type gym or something, that'll be good to have a good Dark Pokemon on our team. But let's run up here, and I apologize for this mod kind of throwing stuff on the screen constantly. I need to remember how to... Let me... mod options. Ooh, honestly, I don't remember. I don't really use other mods real frequently, so I haven't played with it much. But I will make sure to uninstall it before my next recording. I do apologize about that if it's annoying you guys. But, okay, yeah, this is a crafting bench. Let's grab this, and we'll make a bow. And I'm just remembering now that I wanted to name these guys, which means I'm going to need more levels. But I will do that later, because everybody's named their weapons too, so that it'll be comical. You know, when I kill, let's say I kill, Max or something, it'll say, Max was slain by Tortimer the Grey using... And then I'll name, like, the sword his walking stick or something. So it'll say, Max was slain by Tortimer the Grey using his walking stick or something. And then I think I'm going to name the bow Whippersnapper or something like that. After all my Whippersnapper viewers, the string on a bow kind of snaps sort of deal. You guys get it. So I think that'd be cool. I don't think I've shown this to you guys yet. No, I haven't, because at the beginning of last episode I was thinking... or I was partially in progress of it, and I was thinking we might get to it at the end of last episode. But I finished my nether portal, so I just did a single diglet head from like the ones we have, built a bigger portal inside here, and then put a little bit of a deserty landscape around it. So got my sandstone path out to it, and so nobody can really be in the dark about what's going on out there. But I think that looks pretty sweet. You guys let me know what you think. I apologize that we didn't have enough time last week to do a little bit of building on it together, but I was enjoying hanging out with Skull, and we don't get to always have special guests on here, so wanted to make use of it while we could. But let's jump on. There he is. Must have been sunk down in the soul sand. So we'll jump on Cal here. And we'll just get over to Max. He's got the closest crafting, not crafting, but enchanting table to us. So that'll work out very nicely. We've probably got to get one set up of our own at some point. Maybe we'll put that in one of our corners of the gym. At some point I want to build my own, an actual base out there, besides just my gym, kind of separate from gym. But for now, I'm not too worried about it. But let's jump in here and... oh yeah, no, that's what I want. Okay, so throw the diamond sword in here. I generally like enchants that are one line long, so this looks pretty good actually. So let's put a level 30 enchant there. Unbreaking, sharpness, and knockback. Alright, very nice. Sharpness 4, that'll work out very nicely. I like that. And then let's put the bow in here. That looks good too. Punch 2, power 4. Alright, so not the greatest we could get, but not bad. I may do some books or something, but these will be good starts at least. I don't really plan on making armor or anything. With keep inventory on and stuff, I'm not like super worried about getting killed, but I just want to be able to fight back if and when something does happen. So if you guys have any suggestions on names for weapons, I believe the format is, blank was killed by blank using... and then the name of the weapon. So come up with something comical for that, based around who we are. So I'm thinking like using the Whippersnapper or something like that for my bow. And then I was thinking using his walking stick or something like that. But if you guys have other ideas, that's the format I believe. Blank was killed by blank using blank. So. Whatever we want using blank to be, we've got to name our weapon. So that works out very nicely. Though we are now pretty well equipped. Let me set this up more in my Minecraft style here, because we'll have our weapons on us now. We'll have to get some arrows and things crafted, and things like that. But all right, guys, welcome back. Had to make a quick cut there. I got interrupted. My wife came home from work, and it was our anniversary, so I had to go play the role of husband there for a bit, and so I apologize that I just kind of had an abrupt cut there, but Moonball and Spell Tag. Ooh, those actually sound interesting. What is this? Low Sweep, Moonball, and Spell Tag. Those might be things I don't have. So let's take a quick look. I'm sure there's lots of junk in here I can toss. We don't need this blaze powder. We definitely don't need this steak. So let's grab these items here. That's exciting. All right. But yeah, so we got our weapons made, and I've got some levels picked up now. I've been doing some grinding with Thwomp Jr. here, so we've got enough levels. Let me know, guys, what you think I should name these two, as we were just discussing. And at the beginning of next episode, we'll have all the levels we need, since we currently already do. I think it's only like 5 levels or something. But we'll be able to get those names put on there at the beginning of next episode. But I want to give you guys a chance to weigh in there. I could pick something out, but I figure why not get some community involvement in there. You guys have helped name all my Pokemon, so might as well help name my weapons. So let's 27. Oh no! Just to name it? Oh god, I really should name these things before, shouldn't I have? Yikes. Cause what? It's supposed to be... Yeah, it's supposed to be cheap. Oh, that's some kind of... Gosh darn it. Well, make the names good, folks. Make the names good, because there's no redoing it after that. Crap. I really should think about these things before I do them. Oh, we do have a spell tag. Alright, well, whatever. Alrighty. So, I need to do some rearranging of my chests here. I've got so many chests, and they're all just full. Like, I keep having to, like, throw down a new chest just to, like, empty my inventory. And in fact, let's do just that. Get some of this crap out of here. We got this hammer, which we don't need. Where was it? There we go. So yeah, I definitely need to. I need to get some stuff going in terms of rearranging my my storage room here. I've got a couple of projects I want to do. So with the breeding update coming out soon, we're going to be working on a breeding ranch at some point, and I'm going to put that. I haven't really decided yet. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. The downside to living behind a lava fall. I think I've kind of just... Well, I'm thinking of where I want to put that ranch, because it actually sounds like it might need to be pretty large. I was over at Kaze's place in between cuts, helping him clear out his land there for a bit, and it does seem like, because each kind of Pokemon is going to potentially need a different kind of like environment, almost like in a zoo or whatever. Kind of like we looked at the Farside Zoo, they had those little like environments there. This was on my Farside series, my Minecraft SMP. But like they had, and actually I realized, if you guys are also watch that, it was Kaniva who made that. Kaniva's actually a member on the DeciMon server as well, although I haven't seen him on in a very long time. So they made like little environments for everything, and it was awesome. And it actually sounds like for the breeding purposes, they need to be surrounded by like certain kinds of blocks or whatever to get them in the mood to breed. So it sounds like you kind of need to make a little kind of zoo thing. And so I'm thinking, I either want to put that, well, I'm not really sure where I want to put that. We've got a lot of open space over here where we could put it, or I'm thinking I might put a bridge in over here and potentially put it across the little river here, and kind of use this area over here as that, but I haven't really decided yet. I've got to figure out exactly what is entailed, how much space I'm going to really need. Kaze was the one who was just telling me, I'd watched a video and about the 3.3 update for breeding, and he was trying to breed things, and it's like, oh, I don't feel comfortable in this environment or whatever, but he didn't know what that meant, so he didn't like go into the details of it. I should probably try and watch another video now, because I think that the update had like just come out when I saw that video, so he hadn't had a chance to like explore it a whole lot, and so I should try watching one now and see if there's more information out there. But I need to kind of figure out like how many little environments I'm gonna need. Do I need like one per Pokemon type? I mean, what I don't know how that's all gonna work out, but at some point we'll have an episode where we're working on that kind of stuff. Ooh, a level 50 Drapion. I don't have an Earthquake on me, but we should try it anyway. Can always... Oh, and it missed. Awesome. Tackle? Alright, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Thwomp's getting there. He's level 66 now. So we've been doing some good work here. And hopefully 67. So we're just a couple levels away, and he's our last guy. So once he's level 70, our gym team will be at least completely leveled. I still need to track down some TMs. And I'm sure I can barter with some people to use the ones that they've got, because me like just hoping that I'm gonna get like a toxic TM or a roost TM, or hoping I get these sorts of things is not gonna work out. That'll take years. So we'll have to barter with people who already have them, and if they don't plan on using them, we'll see if we can't provide them something useful. Maybe I can barter with some of the enormous or pygmy people and give them some Pokemon they need in exchange for TMs I need or something. Although with the update, the breeding update, there's actually going to be, I don't know if I mentioned this previously, there actually is going to be 2 new size tiers in Pixelmon. There's going to be Microscopic, which is a size smaller than Pygmy, which has all the Pygmy people upset because they've worked to collect all of the smallest Pokemon, and now there's going to be some even smaller ones. And then there's also going to be Ginormous, which will invalidate the enormous Pokemon. So people aren't real thrilled about that, it doesn't sound like, at least on this server, because I know, people have put a lot of... What size are you, buddy? Come on. Oh, it's going by too fast. Pygmy, yeah, so he's a Pygmy. But people have put a lot of time into... I'm sorry. People put a lot of time into collecting these teams of all the biggest or all the smallest or whatever. Lots of people on this server right now who are doing that, trying to be the very best they can be there and get a fully Pygmy or enormous team. And now through breeding, you won't be able to find them in the wild, I don't think. But through selective breeding, like if you breed 2 Pygmies, I think you have the chance to get a microscopic baby sort of thing. So that'll be cool to play around with. It sounds like the breeding mechanics are going to be a little different than in the game. So it's going to be kind of exciting to see what exactly comes out of that. It's always cool when they add new stuff, and this will be a big change for Pixelmon. So looking forward to that, seeing like what kind of moves that allows me to potentially unlock. Maybe I will have to, rebreed some of these guys. Maybe I need to rebreed my Golett and try and get some of those elemental punches, or Fidget the Geiger, and try and get Ice Fang on him. I don't know how all that works. And I don't know that breeding would really do anything there, because I feel like those are moves that are like base moves, but I think that you can only get them back from a move tutor. I don't know if like breeding they'll actually have them or not. So I'll have to play around with that and see if it does end up being the case that we can do that and pretty easily get similar nature or the same nature, and but with moves. Maybe I'll try retraining some of those guys, but we'll just see. But yeah. So. Some cool stuff coming up. I've got to get working on my base out here. I was out looking at Kaze's place, and I've been out to like I showed you guys like Ping's and PG's place. Now my gym looks great, and I'm really happy with it. But it is done, so it's probably time for us. We've done our Nether portal now, so we've got a cool little place in the Nether for people coming to our place, which is awesome. But we've got to get some more stuff out here, even if it's just kind of like decorative. I mean, I've got the gym, and I've got the path, and I like both of those. Those are great. But we gotta get going here. I want to add a Poke Center at some point. I was thinking probably like down over in that flat dippy area, putting a Pokemon Center. The problem is I like to make things that are necessary. Like, I'm not a real big like, oh, I'm just gonna build this, and like a Pokemon Center would be necessary. I'd put healers and stuff in there and things like that, so it would have a function. But but at the same time, like, I got all that crap in my gym. And all the same stuff that I would be putting in the Pokemon Center, like the traders and the healers and everything like that, are in the gym. And granted, like, the healers are down on the opponent floor, so, you know, I would put a Pokemon Center in for that at least, I guess, because I don't really want, like, random people coming down onto my arena. Like, you can come in here and, like, trade or something, but, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But we're definitely going to be doing a breeding ranch, which is going to be a big project, and I think it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to do that with you guys. And then, you know, Pokemon Center. I probably will put in like a little Pokemart around here somewhere too, off to the sides. So, you know, I don't want to. Words today. I apologize. I don't really want to mess with the view here. Like, this is awesome. To me, I love this. So I don't really want anything in this field of view. So when I put in my Pokemon Center or whatever, like, it's gonna be down here, kind of in this flat area. It would be kind of out of the main view there. I'd put a path to it or something, but it wouldn't be obtrusive. And I'm gonna try and do that with all my builds because I do really like what we've got going on right now out here. So I don't want to like contaminate the landscape with a bunch of builds. And I've got a pretty cool build planned, at least for the Pokemon Center. I've got that build planned already. So I just need to gather the resources for it. I've got tons of resources now, but none of them are... Like, I've got tons of stone and stuff, but I'm not using stone for any of my builds. Thwomp is going to die here. This is going to be bad. I should have used Protect. Yeah, that would have been smart. But yeah. So I'm going to get going here because I think we're a bit over time. I just wanted to kind of give you guys, since I didn't really know what else to do, I wanted to give you guys kind of a plan for what's coming ahead. I can't wait for that breeding update to come out because we'll get to do that breeding ranch. That's a big project I want to do, but I'm going to wait and do it until breeding is stable and we update to it. The breeding update is out. We're just not updated to it here on DeciMon. So I'm going to wait for that, but I'm pretty excited about that. Making our own kind of little zoo is what it sounds like, and so that'll be cool. We probably, as in conjunction with that, we'll need to do a search for some more Dittos. I think I've got one. Let me check my Ditto supply here. I do think I've caught one. I may have traded it to somebody. Somebody was looking for Dittos at some point, and because they thought you could. Yeah, we do have one. They thought you could only get them from. Okay, so it's a quiet nature, which is race, special attack, lower speed. It's not great. We'll have to look for some more Dittos. They thought you can get Dittos one of two ways. You can get them out in the savannas. They're a rare spawn out there, so I do see them occasionally when I'm out there EV training. Or you can get them through a failure of the cloning machine. So if you catch a Mew, you can build a cloning machine in order to get turn that Mew into a Mewtwo or create a Mewtwo or whatever. I don't think it uses up your Mew, but you can also, just like in like Red and Blue, the Ditto's like origin is by being a failed Mew clone. Okay, so that's what Ditto is. That's why they're both pink and they can both learn Transform and all these other moves. Well, I guess Ditto can only learn Transform. But anyway, so that's the origin of Ditto. So it's cool that they've built that into this mod to make it so. Yeah, no Ditto comes from Mew. But you can also find some in the wild, in the savannas. So that's cool. We'll try and catch a couple more of those at some point too. And I think next time we're probably going to get going on getting our team raised up. So if you've got any ideas for nicknames for any of these guys, this little lady's going to be it's a little lady. It's probably a dude. Huh, it doesn't tell you in stats. But this is going to be an Umbreon. It was like all bent out of shape. I couldn't find a careful one, and I had a careful one. So I'm just dumb. But yeah, so this is the team for the moment. Nobody really gave me any feedback. If you guys have other ideas you think we should use, let me know, but wasn't getting any feedback, so I just kind of made an executive decision. This is the team we're going to go with for now, and we may have other guys rotating in. Like, I really liked my Machamp from like Pixelmon events, so we may get him a champ in here too at some point. But we'll make decisions based on like the gyms we're facing. It's not super difficult to get people up to like 60 and stuff like that. So it'll take a little bit of time, but it's not like hugely detrimental. The issue, we'll have to make a serious decision once we're going up to level 100, because I don't know if we're ever going to get a team of Pokemon up to level 100, and we're certainly not going to have a rotating team of Pokemon up at level 100. So we're going to have to kind of make a decision on what we want to do there. It may get to the point where, okay, well, I'm going to use Rayquaza and Groudon and things like that as well, just to kind of like, okay, we're at level 70 already. I don't have to get somebody up to level 70 and then up to level 100. So, yeah, level 100 is going to be tough for sure. I just don't have the time. Like, it's taken me a while to get everybody up to level 70 here. I feel like by the time I'm going to, it gets only harder to get experience, because, like, there's not that many wild Pokemon. Like, I'm grinding on 30s and stuff to get to 70. Like, there's not that many Pokemon that in the wild, and I guess we could start, grinding on each other. They don't have trainer experience turned off here, so, like, on Pixelmon Adventures, when Cluster and I would battle, we wouldn't get experience for our Pokemon. My Torterra would not get experience from killing his Charizard. So, but we don't have any such restriction on this server. So we can battle each other to do some grinding too, which we probably will do. There's enough guys that are usually on. We can be like, hey, you want to do a friendly battle? I've got to level up my Marshtomp or something, and we'll be able to do that. Anyway, this episode's getting way too long. I think we're going to be close to 40 minutes again. I apologize for that, but you guys don't seem to mind a little bit longer episodes. But yeah, so next time we will be doing some more Pokemon-y kind of stuff. This time we've been doing... Ooh, Hammer Armor, I do want that. Let's get rid of Tackle. So doing some more Pokemon-y kind of stuff. This time we've been doing some battling with Thwomp Jr., but mainly my goal for today was to get those weapons. I've got to get a bunch more levels put together. Gonna have to get back close to 60, I'm thinking, in order to name these things. So yeah. So anyway, let me know names on the weapons. Blank was killed by blank using blank is the format. So whatever comical name you guys have that you think I should name them, let me know. Otherwise, I will come up with something myself. And yeah, if you got any ideas on the team, offensive team, this really is your last chance. We're going to begin working with them next time. So nobody's really felt inclined to give me information on those, so I don't think you guys really care at this point, but it is your last chance if you do care. And yeah, we may start working with them a little bit, and may have a gym badge. Sounded like Kays was planning on coming over here at some point when I was hanging out with him last night. Me, him, and April were trying to clear out a mountain for him. And it sounded like he might be coming over here at some point, because I think his gym is going to be level cap 70 as well. He just hasn't gotten his stuff put at the showcase yet, because he's trying to finish his house before he makes his map. He doesn't want his house to look bad in his map or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been Torm of the Grain. You guys have been great. Make sure to leave those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, guys. And I will see you all next time. And we will be doing some fun stuff. So make sure to tune back in. Anyway, as always, I've been Torm of the Grain. You guys have been great. Have a good one.